Zapier. It's been around since 2011, which in internet years makes it ancient, and it's still the first tool most people mean when they say automate something. The premise is simple enough. Connect two apps and tell them what to do when something happens. A new row in a Google Sheet triggers an email. A form submission creates a Trello card. That kind of thing. What made Zapier stick is the breadth, over 8,000 app integrations, which is more than any competitor has come close to matching. It's not the most powerful tool here, and for complex logic it can get clunky, but for someone who just wants things to talk to each other without touching code, it's still the obvious first stop. They've added AI features in recent years, including an agent layer that can act on instructions written in plain language. Whether that's genuinely useful or mostly marketing depends on what you're trying to do. Make. If Zapier is the straightforward option, Make is for people who want to actually see what's happening. The whole interface is visual, nodes, and connectors laid out like a diagram, so you can watch data flow from one step to the next. It started as Integromat, a Czech company, and was rebranded after its acquisition in 2022. Make tends to attract people who've outgrown Zapier, usually because they need more control over how data gets transformed along the way, or because the pricing at scale starts to matter. It handles complex branching logic better, and the visual approach genuinely helps when you're debugging something that's quietly failing in the middle of a 20-step flow. Not the easiest tool to learn, but once you understand the model, it clicks. IFTTT. This was the original consumer automation tool. If this then that, the name itself explains the logic. You connect a trigger to an action, and that's it. One trigger, one action. It launched in 2010, and for a while it was genuinely magical. Post to Instagram, it automatically tweets. It rains tomorrow, get a text. Simple, personal, kind of delightful. The problem is that it never really grew beyond that one-to-one model. Business users moved to Zapier, developers moved to more flexible tools, and IFTTT became the thing people set up once and forget about. It still has millions of users, and it still works fine for what it does. It's just that what it does is narrower than most people need now. Microsoft Power Automate. This one doesn't need to compete for attention. It comes pre-installed in most enterprise Microsoft environments, which means if your company uses Office 365, you probably already have access to it whether you know it or not. It connects deeply with Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, Dynamics, the whole Microsoft stack, and that integration is honestly where it shines. Building automations on top of tools people are already using every day removes a lot of friction. It has an AI builder for adding machine learning to workflows without writing code, and Copilot lets you describe what you want in plain language. It's not particularly elegant, and the interface has a reputation for being confusing, but in organizations already locked into Microsoft, it's the practical choice almost by default. UiPath, the biggest name in robotic process automation, which is a different category than workflow tools like Zapier. RPA doesn't just pass data between cloud apps. It mimics human behavior on a computer, clicking through interfaces, filling out forms, reading screens, doing exactly what a person would do if they had to repeat the same desktop task 1,000 times. UiPath was founded in Bucharest in 2005, spent years building enterprise software in obscurity, then hit a growth spike in the mid-2000s when large corporations started taking automation seriously. It became the dominant player in the space, handling things like processing invoices, updating legacy systems, or extracting data from PDFs that don't have an API. It's enterprise software through and through, complex to set up, expensive, and probably overkill for anyone who isn't running an operations team. Automation Anywhere, another major RPA platform, sitting right beside UiPath in most analyst comparisons. The two have been the market leaders for years, with the rest of the field trailing well behind. Automation Anywhere has pushed harder into the AI angle, with a platform they call Agentic Process Automation, built around AI agents that can reason and adapt rather than just following a fixed script. Whether that actually delivers on the promise depends heavily on the use case, but the direction makes sense. Pure rule-based RPA breaks every time something on the screen changes slightly. Adding intelligence to handle variation is the obvious next step. The company is publicly traded and serves some of the largest organizations in the world: banks, insurance companies, healthcare systems. N8N. This one took a different path. It's open source, which means anyone can download it, host it themselves, and modify it however they want. That matters for privacy and cost at scale. It's grown fast in developer and technical communities because it gives you the visual workflow builder that Make offers, combined with the ability to write actual code when you need to. The Fair Code license is a middle ground, free to use for most purposes, but companies building commercial products on top of it have to pay. A lot of people in the automation space are moving toward N8N, specifically because it doesn't lock you into a monthly subscription that scales with usage. You run it on your own server and pay for the server. For teams with a technical person available, this is increasingly the serious alternative to Zapier or Make. HubSpot Workflows. HubSpot is a CRM, and workflows are how it automates the marketing and sales side of a business. When a contact fills out a form, they get added to a sequence. When a deal reaches a certain stage, a task gets created for the sales rep. When someone hasn't opened an email in 60 days, they get removed from the list. This is automation in a narrower, more specific sense than the general purpose tools. But for anyone running marketing operations, it's where most of the day-to-day automation actually lives. HubSpot has an enormous user base among small and mid-sized businesses, and the automation features are deeply embedded in the product. You're not building general workflows here, you're automating your pipeline, and it does that job well. Monday.com Automations. Monday.com is a work management platform, and like HubSpot, its automation is built into a specific context rather than being a general tool. You can set up rules that move tasks, notify team members, update statuses, assign work, or send emails based on what's happening inside a project. The logic is simple on purpose. You pick a trigger, you pick an action, and you're done. No visual flow builder, no complex branching. For teams that live in Monday.com and want things to happen automatically without anyone having to remember to do them manually, it handles that well. It's not going to replace Zapier for anyone who needs to connect outside apps, but that's not really what it's trying to do. Notion AI. Notion added AI directly into its workspace, which is a slightly different take on automation than everything else on this list. It's less about triggering actions and more about doing work inside documents automatically. Summarize a meeting note. Fill in a database field based on the content of a page. Draft a project brief from a set of inputs. Notion AI can also connect to other tools and search across them, though that part is still catching up to the more mature integrations you'd find in dedicated automation platforms. The appeal is that for teams already using Notion as their operating system, having AI embedded in the same place where work actually happens removes a layer of switching. Honestly, some of the features are impressive and some are half-baked, but the direction is clear. Everything becomes a workspace, and the workspace starts doing things on its own.